legislative assemblies for the welfare of society and the just government of the people, we beseech you to behold with abundant favor as your servants whom you have been pleased to call to the performance of important trusts in this republic. Let your blessings descend upon us here assembled, and grant that we treat and consider all matters that shall come under deliberation in so just and faithful a manner as to promote your honor and glory, and to advance the peace, prosperity, and welfare of our country and of those whose interests you have committed to our charge. Amen. Good afternoon, members. Mr. Clerk, proceed.
Order number 1, administration of oath.
Proceed.
Order number 2, communication from the chair.
Honourable members, under this order number, I have 2 communications to make. The first one is, again, this afternoon, we are privileged to have with us students from Kitengela International Schools. I understand these are classes 6 and 7, and they have 5 teachers with them, led by Mr. Godfrey Shikuku. Kitengela International Schools is in the River Ward. I would like to welcome you all. Good afternoon. Thank you very much. Honorable members, please let us applaud and welcome Kitengela International Schools who are with us this afternoon. Feel welcome to the County Assembly of Machakos. This is where we do legislation. This is where we do representation. And we are indeed honored to have you here so that as you continue with your studies and continue enhancing on social studies, you may be able to gain some experience, first-hand experience on what happens in the County Assembly of Machakos, where we do legislation for this county. So together with the teachers, karibuni sana, welcome very much. I understand we have Eugene with us here. As a student, I was told he's called Eugene. Yes, Eugene is a son of one of our honorable members here, Honourable Nick Mutuko. Feel welcome and appreciated, Eugene. You can see you are part of the bigger family. So, karibuni sana, Eugene and the Kitengela International Schools. As we proceed, I will be able to, as soon as, okay, I can see Honourable Kisini is here with us. I had not caught his eyes, so I've seen him. Honourable Kisini, please come and welcome students from your ward. Honourable Kisini.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for allowing me to welcome the students of Kitengela International. And once again, I also echo you to welcome them, all of them and the teachers, to this assembly. I am Honourable Robert Kisini, the MCA for Athi River Ward. Mr. Speaker, Kitengela International is one of the schools which has excelled very, very, very well and very good. Actually, and I can equate it to the Kabarak. Kitengela is the Kabarak of Athi River, Kitengela, Kajiado, and so forth. So members of the assembly, I just want to introduce that school and say that it is one of the best schools. It excels very well. And very soon, I know it is going to start a university. Those are my dreams. I once again say, students, welcome. to learn and to see how we make laws, how we legislate, how we debate. Because I know some of you aspire to become legislators at the end of your period or when you start your careers. For teachers, thank you very much for getting time to come and maybe be with us and maybe partner with us for today and maybe show the students what actually happens at the assembly. This is just an assembly like the National Assembly. So feel like that, like you are in the National Assembly. I once again say thank you very much and send you greetings to the director, Mr. Paul Mwangangi, and tell him that we feel very honored, and we said a big thanks to you and the students and to the school in general. So thank you very much. Feel welcomed.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Honourable Kissing, and pass also my regards to Mr. Mwangangi. Mr. Mwangangi, we went to Machakos Boys together from 1981 to 1984. We were in the same class from 1E to from 4E. From there, he went to do engineering. I went to do Bachelor of Commerce. So say hello to him. Tell him, Mr. Museku, Honourable Museku, I send his regards. Honourable members, on communication number 2, we have a report from the Office of the Auditor General. Honourable members, Article 229, Subarticle 4B of the Constitution of Kenya 2010 provides that within 6 months after the end of each financial year, the Auditor General shall audit and report in respect of that financial year on the accounts of all funds and authorities of the national and county governments. In addition, Article 229, Subarticle 5 of the Constitution provides that the Auditor General may audit and report on the accounts of any entity that is funded from public funds. Further, Article 229, Subarticle 7 of the same Constitution provides that the audit reports shall be submitted to Parliament or the relevant county assembly. Pursuant to these provisions of the Constitution, on the 24th of January 2022, the Assembly received the report of the Auditor General on Yata Water Services Company Provider Limited for the financial year ended 30th of June 2018. The report is hereby committed to the Public Accounts and Investment Committee for scrutiny and submission to the Assembly for approval. The committee should report back to the House within 90 days from the date of this communication, pursuant to Article 229, Subarticle 8 of the Constitution of Kenya 2010. Thank you, honourable members. Mr. Clerk, proceed.
Order number 3, messages.
Proceed.
Order number 4, petitions.
Proceed, please.
Order number 5, papers.
Proceed.
Order number 6, notice of motion.
Proceed.
Order number 7, statements.
Honourable members, under this order number, we have one business to be transacted by Honourable Thomas Mutinda on behalf of Honourable Dominic Ndambuki. Honourable Thomas Mutinda.
Thank you, Honourable Speaker. My name is Honourable Thomas Mutinda, Member of County Assembly, Wamonyo Ward. Mr. Speaker, I stand on statement from the Chairman, Budget and Appropriations Committee. Honourable Speaker, aware that the Committee on Budget and Appropriations is established pursuant to Standing Order number 186, and its mandate is to A, investigate inquire into and report on all matters related to coordination, control, and monitoring of the county budget. B, discuss and review the estimates and make recommendations to the Assembly. C, examine the county budget policy statement presented to the Assembly. D, examine bills related to the county budget, including appropriations bills. And E, evaluate tax estimates, economic and budgetary policies, and programs with direct budget outlays. Honourable Speaker, a statement was sought in this House on 2nd February 2022 on budget implementation status for financial year 2020-2021 and 2021-2022. Noting that the statement was committed to the Committee on Budget and Appropriations for investigation and eventual reporting back to the House on Wednesday, 16th February 2022. Further, the reporting back time to the House lapses today on 16th February 2022. Honourable Speaker, the committee is there to complete investigations on the matters due to delay occasioned by the executive on forwarding the required information. Honourable Speaker, I wish to seek extension of time, 14 days, to enable the committee complete and report on the above mentioned statement. Thank you, Honourable Speaker.
Thank you, Honourable Thomas Mutinda. Honourable members, this is an extension of time request from the chair budget, and I think we should. I decree that we award them that extension of time. But I'm noting that the budget committee needs to understand that the timelines are very slim right now, because we are also in the process of the normal budget cycle, and we have to finalize it before the end of this session, and therefore the 14 days granted extension should be the exact 14 days, and I would like the table clerk to advise me on what date they should report, and that I believe should be after. They should report on the 1st, on the 2nd day of March 2022. So let the committee work on this report and ensure we submit to the House on or before the 2nd day of March 2022. Thank you very much. Mr. Clerk, proceed.
Order number 8, motion, approval of report on implementation status of the Machakos County Agricultural Training Center.
Honourable members, under this order number, we have one motion on the approval of report on implementation status of the Machakos County Agricultural Training Center, ATC. This report is going to be read by Honourable Justice Kitengu on behalf of the Chair, Honourable Frederick Muthoka. Honourable Justice, who is Deputy Majority Leader.
Thank you, Honourable Speaker. My name is Honourable Justice Kitengu, MCA Kiva Ward, Deputy Majority Leader, and ordering brief for Honourable Frederick Muthoka, Chairperson Implementation Committee. Honourable Speaker, that aware that Article 183(3) of Constitution of Kenya provides that the County Executive Committee shall provide the County Assembly with full and regular report on all matters relating to the county. Further, aware that Article 185(3) of the Constitution provides that a county assembly, while respecting the principles of separation of power, may exercise oversight over the County Executive Committee and any other county executive organs. Noting that Order number 188, 2, and 3 mandates the Committee on Implementation to the following. scrutinized the resolutions of the Assembly, including adopted committee reports, petitions, and the undertaking given by Executive Committee, and examine A, whether or not such decisions and undertakings have been implemented and were implemented, the extent to which they have been implemented, and whether such implementation has taken place within the minimum time necessary, and B, whether or not legislation passed by the Assembly has been operationalized, and where operationalized, the extent to which such operationalization has taken place within the minimum time necessary. 2, committee may propose the Assembly sanction against any member of the County Executive Committee who fails to report to the relevant Select Committee on implementation status without justifiable reasons. Acknowledging that in executing its mandate, the committee requested for information from the Department of Agriculture, Livestock, Food and Security on implementation status of Machakos County Agricultural Training Center, ATC. Further, aware that the committee invited the chief officer for the relevant department to a committee meeting and discussed implementation status as it was recommended by the Committee on Agriculture. Honourable Speaker, I wish to move the motion that this Honourable House discusses and approves the report of Committee on implementation status of Machakos County Agricultural Training Center, ATC. Thank you, Honourable Speaker, and I call upon Honourable Mita to second the motion. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Honourable Moses Mita. Thank you very much. Honourable Moses Mita has seconded. You may go ahead and read the report, please.
Point of information, Mr. Speaker. Point of information.
Point of information from Honourable Judas Ndawa.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Sir, my name is Judas Ndawa, MCA Matu Ward. I want to inform the Speaker and the House that the report was not posted in the website, and the members have not been provided with hand copies to go through. So I'm requesting that you defer the matter so that the same can be provided so that we can be able to identify the gray areas.
Point of information, Honourable Speaker.
Point of information from Honourable
Thank you.
Mita.
Thank you, Honourable Speaker. I wish to remind the Honourable Member that I've equally distributed this report online 2 hours before tabling. Honourable Ndawa, you can check our normal WhatsApp group. The report is there. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Let me give my guidelines. Is I've heard your request, Honourable Judas, and also the information from the Whip of the House. Let us go ahead and read the report. Honourable members have the report. And remember, we also do have members of the Kitengela International School with us today. So let us go through the report. And members, you have the copies with you. We'll go through the report. Honourable Justice Kitengo, please read the report.
Thank you, Honourable Speaker. Status of implementation of the report by Agriculture Committee on Agriculture Training Center. Honourable Speaker, we have the content and abedis, and then we have abbreviations. So, Honourable Speaker, I will request that
Go ahead.
we go ahead and start with point number 4, the committee composition.
Go ahead.
Thank you, Honourable Speaker. Honourable Speaker, these are the membership of the committee on implementation as currently constituted, comprises of the following honourable members, Honourable Speaker. Then we have Honourable Frederick Mudoka, Chairperson, Honourable Rosina Kanini, Vice Chairperson, Honourable Irene Bivia, Member, Honourable Angela Munyasia, Member, Honourable Jovri Kamulu, Member, Honourable Mohamed Ali, Member, Honourable Caleb Mule, Member, Honourable Moses Mita, Member. We have Honourable John Musiemi, Member, Honourable Justice Kitengo, Member, Honourable Eric Musembi, Member, Honourable Joshua Muli, Member, and Honourable Francis Kamulu, Member. Secretarian, we have Honourable Lois Kiduka, Clerk Assistance. Then number 2, we have Samuel Mutua, clerk assistants.
Go ahead, guidelines framework, that's okay. Go to the implementation.
Then we have point number 6, guiding legal framework, functions of the county assembly.
That one, it's okay. Go
Yeah.
to number 7.
We go implementation status. Thank you, Honourable Speaker. Point number 7, implementation status of the report on status of Agricultural Training Center, ATC, by the Committee on Agriculture. Overview report. Honourable Speaker, the report of the Committee on Agriculture on the status of Agricultural Training Center was tabled in the House in February 2018. The report was approved and forwarded on 27 February 2018 via the letter ref Machakos CN, PCS, CMM, GR, VOL.2, 11, to the Chief Officer, Department of Agriculture and Food Security for implementation. To this effect, Standing Order number 181 provides that within 60 days of the resolution of the House or adoption of the report of select committee, the relevant executive committee member under whose portfolio the implementation of the resolution falls shall provide a report to the relevant committee of the House in accordance with Article 183(3) of Constitution. Recommendations made by Committee on Agriculture on the status of Agricultural Training Center. Mr. Speaker, the Committee on Agriculture came up with the following recommendations. The Department of Agriculture should issue the ATC with title deeds pursuant to Section 26(1) of Land Registration Act number 3 of 2012 in order to formalize the ownership of the land and ensure asset security. This will help to eradicate cases of double registration land grabbing, which are commonly being witnessed in most government institutions in Kenya. B, the county government of Machakos should initiate legislation that will create funds similar in operational to the previous demonstration farms fund, DFF. This fund will facilitate training and hence increase individual and farmers group enrollment in the station and in turn improve revenues generation from the station. Through legislation, it will be easy for the institution to be audited and improve accountability pursuant to Article 2295, which states that the Auditor General may audit and report on the accounts of any entity that is funded from public funds. C, pursuant to Article 10(2) of the Constitution and the County Government Act, Section 94, 95, and 96, there is need for the County Government of Machakos to do thorough public participation to sensitize the residents of Machakos and beyond on the existence of Machakos Agricultural Training Center, which is aimed on providing extension information to farmers and serving the models of improved crop and livestock upstream practices. D, the chief officer in this department, pursuant to Section 126(1)(c)(4) of the Public Finance and Management Act 2012, should account for utilization of development vote for the station amounting to Kenya shilling 10 million in the financial year 2016-2017 and 20,989,860 shillings in the financial year 2017-2018, which, according to the observation of the committee, was not properly utilized. E, the department in this financial year 2017-2018 should allocate more funds to expand the agro-processing unit, since value addition of agriculture products eradicates cases of loss in times of plenty and also increase profit margin. This unit will be utilized by fruit and vegetable farmers in Mwala and Yatta sub-counties, which are known to produce a lot of fruits and vegetables, which sometimes get wasted due to poor market and lack of processing facilities. F, the funds that are collected from the station and deposited in the county revenue account should be plowed back to the institution to promote the training programs and research work in the demonstration plots. This will attract more clients from the institutions and farmers groups, leading to wider dispatch of agricultural information and also make institution a model farm throughout the year. G. Research work is one of the avenues which the county government of Machakos can venture into the fight hunger, poverty, and earn more revenue, and Machakos ATC is one of those research stations currently being utilized by ICRAF and Syngenta companies. On point number G, then we have A. In the financial year 2013-2014, the target collection was 2.3 billion, but only 1.17 billion was realized, and during the 2014-2015 financial year, revenue was targeted at 2.7 billion, but actual amount realized was only 1.35 billion. B. Department should therefore allocate more funds to promote performance of the demonstration plots, which act as laboratories from training farmers. This will increase enrollment of trainees and more revenue and help to contribute in achieving the revenue target, which for the previous years has never been attained. H. The county government of Machakos can plan to enter into partnership with the research organization pursuant to Section 6.3 of the County Government Act. This will case financial constraints, improve infrastructure, promote capacity building of farmers, and still provide employment to the residents of Machakos. I. The Department of Transport should provide the institution with vehicles to ease movement and performance of work within the station. J. Pursuant to Section 21 of Land Registration Act Number 3 of 2012, the Department of Agriculture should use the development vote budgeted for this financial year to fence the institution in order to secure the facilities therein. This will avoid conflicts from the neighbors who graze in the premises of this institution, hence destroying the demonstration plots, which are the tools for training. Number 8, implementation of the above recommendations by the Committee on Agriculture. Response from the Chief Officer, Department of Agriculture and Food Security. Honourable Speaker, the Committee on Implementation, upon a request on the implementation status of the report, received a written submission from the Chief Officer, Department of Agriculture, and also interrogated the Chief Officer on the implementation status of the said report. Further, the committee carried out site visit on a fact-finding at the ATC to ascertain the status of implementations of recommendations. Honourable Speaker, the implementation of the recommendations was as follows. The Department of Agriculture should issue the ATC with a Title D pursuant to Section 26(1) of Land Registration Act Number 3 of 2012 in order to formalize the ownership of the land and ensure the asset security. This will help eradicate cases of double registration land grabbing, which are commonly being witnessed in the most government institution in Kenya. Response. Survey has been done, and the Department of Land and Urban Development is processing the allotment. Observation. The committee noted that the process had taken too long to be completed, given the fact that this activity is a government-to-government transaction to acquire a Title D for the ATC farm for the purposes of implementations, the recommendation by the Committee on Agriculture. 2, the county government of Machakos should initiate legislation that will create funds similarly in operation to the previous demonstration farms fund, DFF. This fund will facilitate training and hence increase individual and farmers groups enrollment in station, and in turn improve revenue generation from the station. Through the legislation, it will be easy for the institution to be audited and improve accountability pursuant to Article 2295 that states that the Auditor General may audit and report on the accounts of any entity that is funded from public funds. Response. The department has drafted recommendations on the amendment on Agriculture Development Fund Act 2016 to accommodate the Agriculture Training Center and also on draft regulation to operationalize the Fund Act. Observation. The department and drafted amendments to the Agriculture Development Fund Act 2014 to accommodate ATC, see the appendix. The department and also drafted the Machakos Agriculture Training Center Demonstration Farm Fund, Regulation 2014, also see the appendix 2. Number 3, sensitization of the residents of Machakos and beyond on the existence of Machakos Agricultural Training Center. Response. The department has been doing sensitization of the farmers, especially via the local FM station, banners, letters to churches and schools, especially during Agricultural Training Center Annual Field Day. During the Corona era, the publicity has gone down, and even the key event, which include Annual Agriculture and Training Center Field Day, was not held last year. Observation. The COVID-19 pandemic adversely affected the outreach programs of the institution. Number 4, the chief officer in this department, pursuant to section 26(1)(c)(4) of the Public Finance and Management Act 2012, should account for utilization of the development vote for the station amounting to 10 million in the financial year 2016-2017 and Kenya shillings 20,989,860 shillings in the financial year 2017-2018, which according to the observation of the committee was not properly utilized. Response. The committee was informed that the approved budget was 5.5 million, attached budget financial year 2016-2017, Appendix 3, which was not utilized because there was no circular for the executive committee member, ECM, finance stopping institution of projects. Observation. During this financial year, 2016-2017, an amount of Kenya shillings, 5.5 million, had been allocated to the Department of Agriculture, Livestock, Fisheries, Lands and Urban Development for the refurbishment of the non-residential buildings. This was to be implemented at the Machakos Agricultural Training Center. The department was unable to utilize the said monies and thus was reallocated to other programs. This is because the department took long to utilize these state funds during this financial year 2016-2017. During the financial year 2017-2018, no funds had been allocated in the current budget to fund the same program. Number 5. The department in this financial year 2017-2018 should allocate more funds to expand the agro-processing unit, since the value addition of agriculture products eradicates cases of loss in times of plenty and also increase profit margin. This unit will be utilized by fruit and vegetable farmers in Mwala and Yatta sub-counties, which are known to produce a lot of fruits and vegetables, which sometimes get wasted due to poor market and lack of processing facilities. Response. The department expansion of the agro-processing unit has not been possible due to budget constraints, as it is capital intensive. Budget ceiling were on bare minimum levels. The department is working with partner agribees projects, which intends to turn the ATC to an incubation center of trainees and use the agro-processing facility for training. Observation. The Committee on Implementation established that the ATC does not have agro-processing facility, and the department did not allocate budget as was recommended by the Committee on Agriculture in their report. Number 6. The funds that are collected from the station and deposited in the county revenue account should be plowed back to the institution to promote the training programs and research work in the in the demonstration plots, this will attract more clients from the institutions and farmers groups, leading to wider dispatch of agriculture information and also make the institution model farm throughout the year. Response. The committee was informed that this will be resolved once the Agriculture Development Fund Act 2014 is amended and auditable resolving fund established with guiding. Observation. This has not been implemented as there is no legal framework to enable the enactment of the Agriculture Development Fund Act 2014. Number 7.
Honourable Justice, you could go to number 9, committee findings, and then we give the committee recommendations, because I think those observations are more or less the same.
Yeah.
Let's go to page 16. Let's do the committee findings. And then
Thank you, Honourable Speaker, for that guidance. Committee findings, Honourable Speaker. Based on the responses provided by the Chief Officer, Department of Agriculture and Food, this is page number 16, members. Honourable Speaker, based on the response provided by the Chief Officer, Department of Agriculture and Food Security on the implementation status of the ATC, the committee made the following conclusion were drawn. Number 1, that the ATC is yet to acquire a title deed, but a survey has been done. Number 2, that the ATC doesn't have the legal regulation that can enable it to plow back revenue collected through its activities and services at the ATC. Number 3, the committee noted that the ATC had not been allocated any budget, either recurrent or development, which has made it difficult in executing the mandate as ATC. It was observed that the ATC has the capacity to produce enough fingerlings and chicks for the programs by the county, but lacks funds to be able to utilize the available facilities. Number 4, that the training center has tried its level best to sensitize the public on its existence through local stations, banners, flyers, and word of mouth by extension officers. That is during the ATC few days, only that the COVID-19 pandemic has slowed its sensitization activities. Number 5, that the training center has not been able to establish agro-processing unit due to budget constraints. That the training center is working with other development partners, including Kalo, Katumani, Angry Bees, Machakos University, among others, to execute its mandate. Number 6, the training center has acquired a COVID-19 compliance certificate to enable it to continue training in compliance with the COVID-19 protocols. Number 8, the Agricultural Training Center has been accredited as Agricultural Vocational Training Center, AVTC, and certificates issued by the center are recognized. Number 9, that the institution has been allocated a vehicle GK434D to enable ease movement and performance of work for the institution. Number 10, that the fencing of the institution to avoid conflict with the public had not been initiated. Failure to acquire the title deed for the ATC and subsequent fencing has led to destruction of the ATC demonstration farms to pave way for tarmac that destroyed the demonstration plots at the ATC. Number 11, the ATC has set up a demonstration plots for training farmers. The committee observed during a site visit that the demonstration farms have been destroyed to pave way for the tarmac that destroyed more than 4 acres of the farm where the demonstration plots were set up. The ATC management was at pain to explain why the ATC farm was encroached to pave way for the tarmac. Committee recommendation, Honourable Speaker. Committee recommendations. Honourable Speaker, The committee, guided by the observations and Standing Order 188-2B, which states that the committee shall scrutinize the resolutions of the Assembly, including adopted committee reports, petitions, and undertaking given by the County Executive Committee, and examine whether or not legislation passed by the Assembly has been operationalization, and the extent to which such operationalization has taken place within the minimum time necessary. Honourable Speaker, the committee makes the following recommendations. The Department of Agriculture should expedite the process of acquiring Title D for the ATC within 3 months, pursuant to Section 26(1) of Land Registration Act to Act Number 3 of the Constitution of Kenya, 2010. The department should also furnish the Assembly with the progress report on the process of acquiring the Title D for the ATC within 7 days of the adoption of this report by the House. Number 2, that the department should also expedite the process of forwarding afresh the proposed amendment to the Machakos County Agricultural Development Fund Act 2014 and its regulations to accommodate Demonstration Farms Fund, DFF, to the County Assembly for consideration and approval to enable the institution to run its activities efficiently. This will enable establishment of auditable resolving fund with a guide in operationalization of the fund. This should be done within 7 days of approval of this report. Number 3, Honourable Speaker, Department should allocate more funds in the financial year 2022-2023, set up the agro-processing unit to ensure the value addition of agriculture products within the county and its environs. Number 4, the Department of Agriculture should ensure that they forward the proposed budget for the ATC in the financial year 2022-2023 for both the recurrent and the development, and also ensure timely and efficient utilization of their budget. This will ensure the smooth running of the programs at the ATC. Number 5, the committee recommends that the Chief Officer provides the circular from Executive Committee member CEC Finance stopping initiation of the projects in the financial year 2017-2018, and as indicated in the Chief Officer's submission as to why the department failed to the development vote for the ATC of the financial year in question. Number 6, the committee recommends that the Department of Agriculture fence off the ATC farm based on the survey of the farm done. This should be done within 30 days of approval of the report by the House. Number 7, the department should innovate ways that are robust to COVID-19 by tapping into the opportunities represented by the information and communication technology to reach out to its stakeholders. The committee recommends that the department sponsor a program in one of the local stations to educate the public on issues of farming within the county. Number 8, the committee recommends that the Chief Officer, Department of Agriculture and Food Security submit a detailed report on the destruction of the demonstration farm to pave for a road that cuts through the demonstration farm. The report should be clear within documentation evidence on the following. 1, was there prior notice to destroy the demonstration farm to pave way for the road? 2, was there a written concern on the same from Department of Agriculture and Food Security? Number 3, was there costing done on the damage to the demonstration farm? Number 4, what efforts are being done to ensure that demonstration farms continue to run? Number 5, Honourable Speaker, what hope is there for ATC, and what are your proposals to ensure that the ATC is up and running? Number 6, and any other relevant information to this effect. Conclusion and acknowledgement, Honourable Speaker. Honourable Speaker, the committee is grateful to the Office of the Speaker and that of Clerk of the County Assembly for the support according during its sittings. I wish to express my appreciation to the honourable members of the committee for sacrificing their time and energy during preparation of this report. Honourable Speaker, it's therefore my privilege and duty on behalf of the Implementation Committee to table this report on the floor of this Honourable House for consideration and approval. Thank you, Honourable Speaker.
Thank you very much, Honourable Justice Kitengu, for that report well read. Honourable members, I now propose the question that this Honourable House discusses and approves the report of Committee on Implementation on the implementation status of the Machakos County Agricultural Training Center, ATC. Honourable members, you may debate on the motion. Honourable Moses Mita.
Thank you, Honourable Speaker, for granting me the opportunity to make my contribution towards the report just read by our Deputy Majority Leader. Before that, I want to take the opportunity also to thank the students from Kitengela International School. I also want to thank their teachers, and I can only wish them the best in their future endeavors. Honourable Speaker, the report which has just been tabled before the House actually originated from a committee of agriculture where I'm the chairman. And Honourable Speaker, before devolution, Machakos ATC Center, Agricultural Training Center, was ranked 3rd nationwide. That was before devolution. There was so much activities in that facility. Farmers would come from all corners of this country to learn on matters related to agriculture. Honourable Speaker, after devolution, agriculture was devolved. And unfortunately, that's when activities in this important facility started going south. There has been so much negligence in that facility, despite so much potential in that facility. Students across our county, across other counties would visit. We have demo farms in that facility, Mr. Speaker. There is all sort of farming, agriculture activities in that facility. There is even hostels. When you have come from far, you don't need to get out of the institution. You just look for a house, because there are hostels, and you reside there until the end of the training. Honourable Speaker, I want to thank the Implementation Committee, even though, Honourable Speaker, again we are going back to level 0. I visited the place recently, privately, because I'm a member of the Implementation Committee. And we had visited earlier before they started demolishing the demo farms. And later I heard that there is a tarmac which has been put. And Honourable Speaker, when you visit that area, you will not be happy with what has happened. Because we had private farms like Sigenda, which had agreed with the management of this institution. Now that the county government was unable to come up with the budget for trainings to happen, the private farms had actually invested a lot in that institution. Their products would be displayed to the farmers. The trainings would be done there. research would be done there. Honorable Speaker, even the issues of fingerlings, you would get them from that place. Issues to do with chicks, these improved kienyeji chicks, you still get them there. We had cows. We had different types of crops, like resistant, drought resistant, sweet potatoes, such things. And these private institutions had invested very much. And Honorable Speaker, if you go there today, there is no activity ongoing. Very unfortunately, that even herders across have even invaded the place. Cows are all over, destroying crops. And Honorable Speaker, you ask yourself where we are heading, because I've given history. These are facility which was ranked number 3 nationwide before devolution. Devolution was meant to bring development on the ground. But instead, it's like the national government could manage the facility better than the county government. It's unfortunate that that is happening within our county of Machakos. And I hope, because the current government is exiting, I hope the next government which will come in September this year will see the need and the importance of that facility and invest more, because the facility can generate enough revenue to manage itself. We only need to revive it. There is potential in that facility. We have instructors who are idling there from morning to evening. There is so much infrastructure going to waste, Honorable Speaker. Tractors are there, motor vehicles are there. They are not being used. They are just going to waste. So, Honorable Speaker, I hope that one day the residents of Machakos will benefit from the fruits of that potential institution within our county. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Thank you. Honorable Robert Kisini.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for allowing me to also contribute to this debate. I first want to thank the Committee of Agriculture through the chair, through the Deputy Majority Leader who has taken us through for this nice report. Mr. Speaker, I want to dwell my reports and echo the Chairman of Agriculture, who have said that there is a lot of negligence in that institution. Mr. Speaker, this is another institution which we really used to hear about it, and we know about it since time immemorial. It has just come from the report that this institution has no title. And it has just been surveyed recently, and I don't know if the report is saying that we have a letter of allotment or it is yet to come. Mr. Speaker, we have students here who are representing the other students from other schools. What message are we sending to those people who want to aspire in doing agriculture, who want to aspire in doing research? And you, Mr. Speaker, we always cry of food, shortage of food, and more especially in our region. Mr. Speaker, that is one negligence if that institution has no title up to now. Number 2, Mr. Speaker, we have seen in the report that this institution has been denied funds, the budgetary funds. We ask ourselves a question: how do we run such an institution, which is very key, without a budget? How do we run it? And Mr. Speaker, then again, the point of negligence cuts across when, though it might have been very important, but a road destroys whatever has been achieved through the years. A road is just done without proper authorities given, And Mr. Speaker, that one you can see from the chief officer who stated that from number 1 to number 6, those procedures were not followed. An example, there was no prior notice to destroy the demonstration farm to pave the way for the road, and so forth and so forth. That was just an example. Mr. Speaker, I'm not saying that it was wrong to have that tarmac. It might have been important, but there should have been some compensation so that the institution can stand for itself. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you very much, Honourable Kisini. May the mover of the motion respond, please?
Thank you, Honourable Speaker. Thank you, Honourable members, for your wise response. And Honourable Speaker, on behalf of Office of Majority Leader, let me take this opportunity also to welcome our guests and by their teacher. I just want to tell you, feel at home, learn something, and once you get back, be inspired that tomorrow you are the next leaders who will be able to legislate here in future. Karibuni sana. Honourable Speaker, having read the report, actually it's self-explanation. And Honourable Speaker, what I could argue is that as per the request and the recommendations, we just as a house pull up our socks and make sure that we follow up and make sure that everything has been followed up, so that now we revive the ATC, because you can attest that, Honourable Speaker, we don't have it's not even any more operational, and the ATC has been helping even to our students. You know, I remember even which year it was, around 2004, I think, we visited, I led a delegate which we visited, and it was very well operational. But seems now it's no longer operational, is that the Department of Agriculture, including the Committee of Agriculture, we make sure, and the Budget Committee, we make sure we budget for this as the recommendation has been as stated. So, Honourable Speaker, I will only thank honourable members and the committee as well and the House for the good work done. Thank you, Honourable Speaker.
Thank you very much, Honourable Justice Ketengu. Honourable members, I now put the question that this Honourable House discusses and approves the report of Committee on Implementation on the implementation status of the Machakos County Agricultural Training Center, ATC. As many as other opinion say ayes. Ayes. As many as the contrary opinion say nay. The ayes have it. Honourable members, what I can say before we adjourn is that I also, now that you have adopted the report of the House, I also echo your sentiments, especially through the report which has come out here, that we actually do not seem to be taking into consideration the importance of having an ATC facility in our county. Machakos and Kenya in general is still primarily an agricultural economy, and therefore we still depend solely on agriculture as the main source of income to the majority of our people. And the basis of agriculture is in training, so that we can be able to get the necessary skills of ensuring that we are doing proper trainings, we are doing the right type of agricultural activities which can be able to generate food and income to our people. It is sad that this institution has gone down since devolution has come into place, instead of being enhanced by the local government to ensure that it is funded and gets all the required access. I do not understand why a road, and if I'm not wrong, you might end up finding that this is a road which was being constructed for the airstrip. which has not been approved by the aviation authorities. You go ahead and you destroy demonstration farms which have been heavily invested in by private investors like Syngenta and the other companies who are willing to help in setting up these farms to help our farmers, so that we can be able to put up a road and make some money. The target of that tarmac road was to make money, believe you me. You're not going to find that. You'll find the road is leading to nowhere. And therefore, I recommend that this committee ensures that they summon the Chief Officer of Agriculture so that he can be able to give feedback on the pertinent issues which have been raised in this report, more so on the issues pertaining to the cutting of a road through demonstration farms and destroying them. You all remember very well. You'll also remember that we had a refrigeration facility where we had a fully fledged facility where our farmers could be able to go and store French beans and this other type of perishables before they are exported. And that was taken over by the office of the governor. And the refrigeration facilities, where they are, I would like the committee to try and find out where those facilities went to, because right now there sits the office of the deputy governor. We have got so many offices where they could have sat. I do not know why they had to destroy refrigeration facilities. And therefore, let the Secretariat ensure that we get a response on this specific report. We write and forward it as approved by the House, and we should be able to get a response again before this House over the next maximum 30 days. Thank you, honorable members. And with that, the House stands adjourned to resume again on Tuesday, the 22nd day of February, in the year of our Lord 2022 at 10 a.m. Enjoy the rest of the afternoon.